Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us for this update from your coronavirus headquarters. I'm Mike Thompson. More than 313,000 Wisconsinites have applied for new unemployment benefits since March 15th. The Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development says that's nearly 18 times as many applications compared to the same time period last year. News 8 Now's Mel Meyer explains how this surge in claims is leading to long wait times for people needing that money right now.
Rachel Rodriguez loved her job as an assistant manager at a women's clothing store. But because of the coronavirus, her employer recommended that she file for unemployment just to get her through until they could reopen and rehire her.
I applied for unemployment the very next day.
She got a letter that her claim was valid, so she initially felt at ease. Rodriguez wasn't getting what she'd be paid if she was working, but it was something for her and her kids to get by on.
Still kind of rough, but it helps, definitely.
But then, nothing.
It continued to say pending every week that I filed.
She would call the Department of Workforce Development's call line as soon as they opened, right at 7:35 a.m.
The line was immediately busy. Or it would say, we have reached the number of calls that we can have on hold right now, and we're ending this call. Goodbye.
The state agency says it has reached 160 calls per second at times. It has staff working overtime on nights and weekends, has added more staff to its call center, and is hiring additional employees to work on tasks for claims and process paperwork. All she wanted to ask is if there was an issue or when to expect payment.
Did I check the wrong box for something?
Finally, 22 days after she applied, she got her answer.
It does say that the funds are pending to be deposited.
But she has friends that are still waiting. Rodriguez feels Wisconsin can do better for the workers that followed the orders.
If we're asked to do something like, stay home to be safe for our families, that we have some economic resources to be able to fall back on.
For News 8 Now, I'm Mel Meyer.
News 8 Now did contact the Department of Workforce Development multiple times about this issue. We wanted to ask what people should do if their claim has been accepted, but they have yet to receive their payments. So far, we have not heard back from the agency. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers signs a sweeping coronavirus relief bill. Evers' signature follows the Wisconsin State Senate's unanimous approval earlier today. The bill ensures that Wisconsin can capture $2.3 billion in federal aid. That includes higher Medicaid payments and unemployment benefits. Governor Evers said in a statement, quote, "My pen has been waiting for weeks to sign legislation that guarantees Wisconsin will capture our fair share of federal dollars under the CARES Act and ensures workers experiencing unemployment and underemployment won't be forced to wait an extra week for needed benefits to kick in. This bill is finally a step in the right direction, but there is much more work to be done," end quote.
We've seen roughly 400,000 Wisconsinites out of work in the last several weeks, and we want to make sure that we leverage as much as we can the federal dollars that are coming down from the CARES Act to meet the needs of our citizens right here.
Lawmakers will be allowed to allocate up to $75 million in funding. There are now more than 3,700 positive cases of COVID-19 in Wisconsin. It's an increase of 166 cases from yesterday. 182 people from the state have died from the virus. 2 new cases are being reported in Monroe County. No new cases in La Crosse County since last Friday. However, the county health department is reporting a continued shortage of testing supplies, meaning some people with symptoms are not able to be tested. More than 20 new coronavirus cases are being reported in Winona County, bringing its total to 51. A release from the city of Winona says, quote, "This was expected and represents a large increase in local testing. We know the virus has been in Winona and spreading for some time," end quote. The increase in cases follows expanded testing at a care facility in Winona. A disease prevention and control nurse with Winona County Health and Human Services says, quote, "There was an identified hotspot in Winona County at a long-term care facility that continued to have spread of COVID-19 despite using mitigation strategies. It was determined at the Minnesota Department of Health that additional testing should be completed on individuals to determine if asymptomatic people were infected with COVID-19 and contributing to the spread of the disease," end quote. There are now 1,800 positive cases in the state of Minnesota, and there have been at least 87 deaths. Houston County is still reporting only 1 positive case. And in Iowa, a second death is now being reported in Allamakee County. The entire state now has nearly 2,000 people who've tested positive and 53 people who have died. A local health system is marking a milestone in testing patients for the coronavirus. More than 1,000 people have been tested at Mayo Clinic Health System's drive-through testing. The site opened about a month ago for patients that were approved to be tested. Using drive-through testing measures helps reduce the exposure of COVID-19 to patients, and Mayo Clinic believes it's been a big success.
I think it's been very successful. Our community has done exceptionally well at flattening the curve. We've had really as low a spread as anywhere around, and I think that's partially due to this clinic.
Through the drive-through service, Mayo Health is able to speed up the process to get patients their results in less time as well. Local organizations are delivering critical items to those struggling during this time. Volunteers will distribute meals every day starting at 11 in the morning to locations throughout La Crosse. The Salvation Army of La Crosse County, Catholic Charities, and the Cooley Collaborative to End Homelessness are working together on this effort. The distribution will continue through the end of Safer at Home orders in Wisconsin. Along with food, hygiene products, clothing, and disinfectant wipes will also be supplied.
Whether they just need a lunch to get them through the day, if they need a blanket, if they need a coat, with everything getting very uncertain. We're getting the spring of deception essentially with all the weather. And so yeah, basically they can come up, they can get anything that they need. If we have it, we'll give it to them, no questions asked.
We do have a list of locations and times on our website, news8000.com. And thank you for joining us for this coronavirus update. You can always get the latest anytime on our website, news8000.com, or download our mobile app. And we hope you can join us tonight at 10. Have a great night.